that love to capture our attention and our minds and brainwash us into thinking random things and that we need to continue watching. Hey, it's me, it's Dee. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do something a little bit different, just because I know that typically on my channel I'm a little bit more serious. Kinda. Well, the topics are usually more serious. I am not a serious person. It'd be like that. But today I just want to talk about some of the things that I've been doing in quarantine other than having depression, having anxiety, killing ants, and working from home. And I'm doing this for a couple of reasons, because I didn't really want to post the video slash vlog that I was gonna do for a week in my life in quarantine, just because I felt like I actually left out a lot of important things. Especially like the depressive, anxiety induced ones. And I didn't really feel like that was genuine. And also because of that, I focus a lot more on like my productivity and what I was doing to be productive, and I feel like there's way too much of that going around right now. Like, okay, editing right now, and I just want to say that day after, I've changed my mind a little bit on this. I still don't know if I'm gonna post this, but if I do, it's because I've reviewed some of the footage and it's kind of funny and not super productive. And everything that I say after this, I still think, but I also think that I might do some like light productivity things just to kind of keep some sort of like schedule going on, and just since that's what I'm doing, my channel's gonna reflect that. But at the same time, I'm not gonna be doing a super like how to be super productive and get abs in 2 days kind of videos. Like, that just doesn't make sense. Way too much of that. It is not realistic for everyone to come out of quarantine knowing a new language and being buff. It's just not. Some of us will, some of us won't. And that's not to say that I'm not going to talk about some of the productive things that I'm doing in quarantine, because I am, and if you want to join me, great on you. If you don't, who cares? Because one of the things that I feel like a lot of those videos failed to mention and accept as fact is that a lot of people have a lot of other things going on. They got kids, they got jobs, they got bills.
I can barely pay my bills.
But more than that, a lot of people have different mental health issues. May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and I just feel like a lot of people aren't aware of this fact, and it's a problem. Let's get into it. These are just a couple of things that me, a college graduate, is doing during quarantine. Roll the footage. Some things that I've been reading. I honestly haven't been reading as much as I wanted to yet, but that's also because I was still in school, so there were some things that I was reading for class. But the first thing that I've read for pleasure during this time was actually finishing up Children of Blood and Bones, which was so good. It is by Tomi Adeyemi, and she is, I believe she's a Nigerian author. Let me double check.
1 hour later.
Yep, she's Nigerian American, and trying this again. Okay, so the Children of Blood and Bone is about a magical world, basically, but it includes black people, which we obviously don't see enough of. So there's two sides, the ones who potentially can have magic, the diviners, and once they actually have magic, they're called magi. And then there's the Kosedan, who don't have magic and aren't born with potential to. However, the king, who is over the whole like realm, actually has eradicated all of the adult magi, and so they're only children diviners. And because of that, they were never able to learn and progress on how to have magic. And so they go through this whole different quest about how to bring back magic. And it's actually pretty cool. I mean, obviously the specific plot isn't necessarily new, but the fact that it's done with dark-skinned characters and different things with hair, like embracing natural hair and looking at just the different like cultural aspects that it harbors that a lot of other magical books don't. It's really cool. So if you are a person who loves sci-fi, fantasy, magic, all of those realms like I do, and you want to see more black faces, I definitely recommend picking this up. This one does not have the cover on it, but Children of Blood and Bone. Next, we're gonna talk about some more productive things that I've been doing, but one of them was actually to rethink my entire life because graduation is here and it's like,
what do I do now?
but I mean, I feel like that's kind of where we all are, no matter where we're at, because of this whole lockdown thing, but I feel like it's hitting the college graduates a bit. It's hitting the college graduates a bit more just because they also... Who the fuck is outside? No, it's hitting the college graduates a bit more just because they also have really don't have any idea about what they're doing after quarantine ends, because a lot of them didn't even have jobs yet. And a lot of them are getting their jobs like taken because of this, like a lot of other people. And so it's just a really hectic time. And so I did a huge like deep mental dive that we're not going to go into. But one of the things that I did do is also think about what I'm gonna do with my YouTube channel and tweak that a little bit. So you'll see that video coming after this one. We'll see. I don't know how soon after, because again, I have some other things that I'm gonna do. So I'm not gonna talk about it in this one, but stay tuned. One of those random goals that I decided to set was that I decided that I was going to try and get my middle split. I have no idea what possessed me to try and get my middle split. I'm not a dancer, I'm not a gymnast. I am not a cheerleader, nor an acrobat. But for some godforsaken reason, I decided that this would be a fun quarantine challenge. I've never had my middle split for reference. However, I did used to have my left and right split, which as you can see are also non-existent. We shall see how this goes. I've been following this one split routine that I forget the name of, but I'll put it up here and link it in the description box below. And we'll see. I've already started to see some results, so hopefully that'll continue. I've been trying to film for the past week, but there's always noise in this house. And part of it is because we're in the middle of a renovation for part of this house. And it is time. Okay, so some of the things that I have watched, because obviously everyone has been watching Netflix and Hulu and Amazon. Yeah, you can watch things on Amazon and Sling and all of those other lovely things out there that love to capture our attention and our minds and brainwash us into thinking random things and that we need to continue watching. You know what? Sometimes that's not a bad thing. I, for one, need to zone the fuck out sometimes. Yes, so what have I been watching? Most recently, Yeeeaaa the musical. And let me tell you, it was bad, but it was amazing. If you have strong convictions in Christianity or religion, I would suggest not watching it. But if you like really bad musicals that are bad on purpose and make interesting societal statements, it's pretty good. Other things I've been watching, and I have a list here because I am bad at remembering things and I'm going to try not to look at them. So we're going to stare intently at each other while I go through this list. That's a lie, I'm ADHD and I can't really stare for that long. I cannot sit still for long. But anyway, I watched All American, Fear the Walking Dead, The Walking Dead. I Am Not Okay With This. Hintified? No, that was before spring break, which is before quarantine. Come on, Carrie, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. Lock and Key. Lock and Key was actually surprisingly good. Like, I honestly went into it thinking that it was gonna be like a kid show, and it definitely was not. At least not in the way that I think of it. It was like almost a grown-up Victorious, but not as funny. I don't know why that's the best way that I can think to describe that. But yeah, okay, I'm gonna cheat now because I'm gonna forget it. Duh, Tiger King. Who hasn't watched Tiger King? And if you have, what the fuck is wrong with you? And if you haven't, how? How? That's all I have to say about that one. I also watched Insecure for my Black Women in the US class, which was actually pretty good. I might do a video on that one. My mother's coming down the hallway. Hello, Mother! Money Heist, which I was super hyped about. That one was really good. I still have no idea how they managed to put a single robbery into 2 seasons, and now they're trying to do another one in 3. I don't understand. But here we are. Another one that I watched was 100 Humans, which was interesting because I literally watched it because I had severe anxiety this one night and I literally could not fall asleep, but I couldn't do anything else, and I literally could not watch anything. I tried everything from like the show that I was actually watching to cartoons, and I couldn't watch anything, and I just randomly clicked on the show on Netflix. It's a reality show, and they just ask like really random questions about like humanity and human condition. They're like really weird, but it was such a good show. It like mixed like social issues and like science in a way. It was really interesting. I recommend that one, definitely. Obviously way too much news and way too much YouTube. But speaking of YouTube, 2 channels that I got way too into while streaming on YouTube was Yeeeaaa, because I love learning about different people's stories and learning like the arguments on different sides of the table, and some episodes of Yeeeaaa are definitely better than others. They also have like multiple series. If you're not familiar with the channel, I suggest checking them out, and yeah, it's a good channel. And then the other one is I think it's just called Hiram, but it's Skincare by Hiram, and is this really funny white gay dude in Honolulu. Is he in Honolulu? I think so. He's in Honolulu, Hawaii. And he's hilarious. He's super, super, super sweet. And he also cares about the environment like guys. Oh, the way to my heart. I just love it. Just love it. Games that I've been playing just as I'm watching TV, because I'm really bad at focusing on one thing at a time. Like, even if I'm enjoying a TV show or a YouTube channel, I'm really just not going to be able to focus all that much. And so what I do instead is I play random games that don't really need much attention on my phone. So I've been playing Brick and Ball, and then I've also been playing, what is this one called? It's Ball Paint, which you literally just like throw different color balls at a different shape and it changes the colors or whatever. So I play that while I'm watching stuff, but I've also been playing Words with Friends because I love Scrabble. And then Diner Dash, but not as much because I had to delete it so I could get more space on my phone because I had way too much stuff on there. So we'll see if I re-download it. Another thing, I downloaded Twitter. I don't know if that was a mistake or if it was a good idea. Results are pending. That's all I can say. And finally, the last thing that I'm going to put on here is that I've been listening to a couple of random, or I guess not random, but a couple of different podcasts that I've actually enjoyed for quite a while. So the podcasts that I listen to the most often are called Brand Ambition, Yes Girl, Science Versus, and Side Hustle Pro. And so those are all really cool. All of them, well, actually no. 2 of them are kind of more related to like finance and stuff. One is specifically finance, and they give a bunch of different tips about saving. The Budgetnista does on that one. And then Side Hustle Pro actually looks at like different side hustles and how they become larger businesses, and just looking at Black female entrepreneurs and how to kind of grow businesses there. But then Yes Girl is just an Essence podcast. That one's more about pop culture and different ideas and things that are happening in the Black community. So that one's really cool. And then the one that is not Black is Science Versus. But I think it's really cool because she breaks down, Wendy Zuckerman. She breaks down different scientific ideas and other just random questions, some that may not even be seen as scientific ideas and opinions and stuff, and kind of breaks them down into a science and explains them pretty well. Right now they're doing a pandemic series, so I haven't necessarily been listening as much because I try to distance myself from that a bit. Obviously it's difficult, but yeah, I usually really enjoy her work. She's done things, everything from like gun control to how things affect your body, like is vegan diet worth it, and other things like that. So all really cool podcasts. I would definitely recommend and suggest, and if you all have any recommendations or suggestions for me to watch, read, listen to during this pandemic or for each other, drop them down in the comment box below. So I always mix up phrases. It's fine. leave a comment down below with those, and I would love some more recommendations. I hope you all thought these were great, and I will see you all next time.